Hey, so a quick review for today. If you haven't quite finished that worksheet, that's going to be your objective to get that in through Floop or through Google Classroom. Check the assessment if you've got it done. So remember, there are about 5 different types of entities that could be in solution. The first ones are ionics. And remember, those have a metal and a non-metal. These dissociate. They break up if soluble. So you have to use your solubility chart. Remember, if you have something like sodium phosphate, what do the entities look like in solution? And a reminder, what is an entity in solution? It's the stuff that's on the product side. This will break up into 3 sodium ions and 1 phosphate ion. Sodium phosphate is soluble when I check my table. I don't put a 3 down here. This is wrong. Okay, that's not right. A reminder, why do I put a 3 in front? Because this ionic compound has, if you want to think of it, 3 sodiums attached to a phosphate group. Now, it doesn't really look like that, so when it breaks apart, you have 3 floating sodiums. Now, the other thing that some people did the assignment forgot was you need to have charges if you have an ion, and you need to tell me that the ions are aqueous. Okay, so that's ionic compounds. If you have something that's not soluble, like silver chloride, for example, it does not break up, it stays silver chloride. No dissociation. Okay, the next one we talked about was ionization. Ionization occurs with acids. They ionize if they're strong. So you have to use your acid-base table and look above that gray bar. Hydrochloric acid is a strong acid, so it breaks up at 100%. You don't need to write down 100% or greater than 99.9%. So we wind up with a hydrogen ion and a chloride ion. Okay, really weak acids, something that's below the gray bar, like acetic acid, does not break up. Okay, so that's the second compound. Remember, if it asks for entities, those are the entities in water. You can write out the reaction. That's always going to be okay, and then I'll mark the reaction, or you can list the products. Okay, the third thing is moleculars, and these are tricky. Moleculars aren't acid, they aren't base. Okay, they have no metals. They don't form ions. So no charged particles occur when you have a molecular. And sadly, you have to memorize 2 different groups of moleculars, and those are sugars and alcohols. Something like sucrose, which is a sugar, C12H22O11, starts out as a solid, and moleculars do not form ions. They stay together, but highly soluble moleculars become aqueous. The state changes. Insoluble moleculars, like methane, whatever they were to start with is what they are at the end. So there's no change. Okay, those are moleculars. Elements. Elements are single atoms or diatomic atoms in different groups, and they don't form ions, so no charges. They just don't do anything. So an example is oxygen. It just stays oxygen. What if you had aluminum? It just stays aluminum. There's no change. Okay, the fifth one is bases. And for right now in our curriculum, bases are all ionic substances, so they follow the same rules. Okay, hopefully this little recap helped.